Hey, good morning, everybody. What is up? Yes, we have a morning live, people. Um, just something to wake up to. And I have a very good guest for you today, introducing you to, I'll let her introduce herself when she comes on. But let's get to it. No talking, no extra talking. Here we go. Hey, what's up, Lena?
Hi, PJ. How are you?
I'm good. Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for
Yeah.
being here on the show with me today. I'm looking forward to chatting with you, talking to you, finding out about you and your business. So let me give you the floor so you can introduce yourself to everybody.
All right. Thank you. Well, as you said, my name is Lena. My name is actually Melina, but for the business, I go by Lena because I just felt like that was a nice flow. Um, I am approaching my second year in the lawn care industry, and I love it. Like Cocoa for Cocoa Puffs about it. I enjoy everything about it, from the hard work to the sweats to uh, just meeting people. There's some very character building things within the lawn care industry that I really enjoy as well. So, all in all, I love it.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, I mean, I've seen, I ran into you on Instagram. I been on this quest to find the females out there so that we can, let everyone know we're here. Be a part of the team, no segregation or anything like that. And I keep the yards and the things that you do on your channel, on your Instagram channel. They're amazing. Some of the work that I've seen, it's
Thank
fantastic.
you.
So,
Thank
so
you.
how long have you, you said 2 years. You've been in business 2 years, right?
Yeah, well, this spring will be my second year. So last year,
Okay.
2021 was my first year. Lawn care is an industry I've always wanted to get into. I love it. It's very it's like a therapy almost. It's just you in this grass, or whoever you're with in this grass. And so last year I was like, let me jump off the porch and see how it does me.
Yeah, very good. That's cool. And you said that you love it, right? You can't help but love this. I'm sorry. You can't.
Yes, I love it. I've done many different type of work, and lawn care has definitely been my top.
Okay, good. So we have some people rolling in here. We got some people come to see you. I'm glad they're here. They're complaining a little bit about this morning uh, live show, but they love it. They love it. It's gonna wake them up. We're gonna wake them up. So
Yes, good morning,
hang
y'all.
hang in there, guys. So Aldo, hey Aldo and Greg. I wanted to mention. So I don't know if you are you familiar with Pete Denny, Lena?
with with P Diddy.
Pete Denny from
Oh.
GC. You said Pete Denny. From GCI Turf Academy.
Unfortunately, I'm not.
Okay. So, Greg, hello, good morning. Greg is a veteran. Thank you for your service, and Pete's doing some great things for him, free of charge, which is
Awesome.
awesome. It's a mission of GCI Turf Academy, which I'm 100% behind. If they come anywhere near me, I will be helping them out. Basically, Pete is going to veterans and disabled vets and things and doing yard work for them.
Oh,
So,
that's beautiful.
yeah,
Wow.
that's pretty
Yes,
cool.
thank you for that, for doing
Um,
that.
yeah. So I just want to catch up in the chat a little bit. I got a little bit behind. My buddy Danny's in the chat. He's in his
Hi,
PJs
Danny.
watching BJ. There you go, man. Thank you, Ron. I had to do that intro justice for Lena, and I think he did. Hope she liked it. Um,
Thank you. Yes.
mhm. Lawn Warrior, what's up? Good morning. Thank you for joining us. Coming to meet Lena. Hey, here's a LOL member. What's up, Eva?
Hey.
Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning.
All right, so let's get into some questions for you here. What what made you go into the lawn business? Give us a little bit of backstory on that.
Sure. So I would say my interest with the lawn business came about probably when I was around 12, which is ironic because I have a daughter who's 12 now and she does not like lawn care at all. So it
Oh, she
breaks my
doesn't.
heart, but
Oh
but I'll do it for the both of us. So at 12 years old, I have an older sister. We're 3 years apart. She used to cut my grandparents' yard, and one time she messed up their mower. So I was next in line,
no.
and little did I know it was just going to make me fall in love with it. And so I used to cut my grandparents' yard every summer from age 12 to now. I still cut their grass.
Nice.
And it was just always really something about putting the gas in the mower, listening to the mower run, the vibration, just being out in nature, the getting a little dirty. I loved everything about it. And it was always my happy place. And I was like, this is really what I need to do. Like one day, it's just always been in my mind as just goals. Like I would love to start a lawn care business, even if I start off just doing a couple yards. Um, but the love for lawn care started at age 12. So
That's
17
awesome.
years ago.
That is awesome. My story is just the opposite. I got into it late in life, like 3 years ago, basically 3.5 years ago. But I wish I would have come across it earlier, because I would it would have been what I did most of my life, I'm sure.
Yes.
CR is digging your chair. She likes your chair.
Thank you, CR.
uh, let's see. Dan wants to know what kind of machines do you start off with and where are you now with equipment wise? Like, so what did you, when you started your business, what equipment did you have and what do you have now?
Sure. So when I started off with push mowers. I had a Craftsman that I picked up from Home Depot in 2019, 2020. And at that time, I just got it for personal use. I had no intentions on taking over the community with it.
Mm-hmm.
So it was a perfect mower. When I first started the lawn care services early spring of 2011, that mower used to just knock it all out for me. So as my clientele picked up, the trusty craftsman that I was using the push mower, it got tired, as so did I. And so from that point, it was time to go to a mower dealership. So I went to a local one. I live here in Omaha, Nebraska. There's a few dealerships out here, but I went to one that I was referred to. And
Isn't that fun? Isn't that trip the best trip in the world to go
oh
walking into
my
those shops?
gosh, it's so much fun. It's like going to buy a brand new car. There's all these
Yeah.
bells, these whistles, these different ranges. Do you want a sunroof? Do you want the automatic doors?
Yep.
Yes, it was so much fun. It's like a probably equivalent to like people who like to shop, like a trip to the mall. It was so much fun. So I went to the dealership. I looked at different mowers. They have so many different options, and so brand wise, they had Hustlers, they had Right mowers, um, they had some Toro mowers. There are other mowers in between. For the price point within my first year, I decided to go with the Right mowers. So once I got done with the residential push mower, I upgraded to a standard B Right mower, and that mower has just served me so well. So I love it.
Yeah.
As I grow my business, I'll definitely pick up a second one for sure.
I'm gonna say this right now. You're the second person I've interviewed that talked about the right mowers. India, you're out there somewhere. Right mowers, if you're watching, you might want to grab these two.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, there you go. Cool. We have a few people that shouted out to you in the chat. I don't know if you saw it. Greg, let's see, put him back up here. He said, Lena, very proud of you. Thank you, PJ. You're welcome, Greg.
Thank
Lena, very
you.
proud of you. Um, Jackie said, go girl. That's right. Go
Thanks,
girls.
Jackie.
Let's see who else we got in here. T and L Lawn Care. You're very welcome. Thank you for joining us and supporting. Um, Very cool. Let's see. India has a long comment here. Let's see if it'll fit. Yep, there we go. She says she saw your Husqvarna battery trimmer. How do you like it?
Oh, great. I love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it. Husqvarna, that was something that I had my eyes on um, towards the beginning of the season, per se, because of the lawn care community, just seeing what some of the lawn care YouTubers use and all of that. And so Husqvarna was definitely at the top of my list, but it's a bit pricier.
Hmm.
So I had to start somewhere. So I started off with a steel uh, edger and blower, and it worked fine for me. It wasn't perfect, and I ended up spending a lot of time having to take the trimmer head off and uh, restring it and reposition it back on, and it ended up actually just took forever to. And so unfortunately one day I lost it. I believe maybe somebody took it off of my trailer when I was servicing a home, and I didn't notice it until I was on to the next home. So then I was in the position of needing to replace it. And so when I had to replace it, I was like, well, now's a good time to invest in something that will do me well. So I went ahead and got the Husqvarna. It's an i6. Oh, I can't remember what exactly it is. But if you'd like, you can always message me on Instagram, and I can definitely give you the details. But that Husqvarna trimmer, 100 out of 10 rating. It's perfect.
So
It's
is that she's
trusty.
asking, have you noticed a savings versus the gas? So I'm wondering, is the Husqvarna electric or a battery? I mean,
Yes.
okay,
So I do use battery powered for my trimmer and for my blower, just because when I first started, I got a really cool gas battery pack
hmm,
uh, blower, and I had a nice trimmer. And I personally had issues with starting it, and it became more frustrating than anything
yeah,
and very inconvenient. And so I decided that rather than being outside hot and trying to start up all of this gas powered stuff, I'll just switch on to battery. So from day one, when I actually started getting into servicing homes and properties, I've always been battery powered. So there's advantages and disadvantages. So the batteries are expensive, and you most likely have to buy more than one so that you can always have one on the charger.
yeah,
Um, However, it's nice I don't have to deal with filling it up with
gas.
gas. But I personally, I really enjoy it. It's done me really well, and that Husqvarna was just a game changer. It made it so much easier. I was able to get through properties a lot faster. I feel like the quality of the work was nicer with the Husqvarna, so I
Yeah,
really enjoyed it.
nice. Well, I'm a battery powered person. I've never used gas, so I can't speak on gas at all.
Woo!
All right. So I think you said that this is a full-time thing for you, right? This is your full-time job?
It will be. So,
Okay.
with my first year, it was kind of like a jump off the porch, test the waters type of situation.
Mm-hmm.
So, with my first year, I did stay with my full-time job, and I would do it part-time. So, all day Saturday, all day Sunday, and evenings. But as we get into spring of 22, it will be full-time, and I'm super excited for that.
Okay. That's nice. I would be excited about that as well. I
Yeah,
have a
something to
full-time
look
that I
forward
work,
to.
so so Danny from Dan the Lawn Man wants to know, do you get snow? We talked about some of this prior to getting on here. And do you provide any services during that time of snow or anything?
Okay, thanks for the question, Dan. So, yes, in Nebraska, we definitely get snow. Um, we get snow anywhere between November to sometime in March. This year, I did not provide any snow removal services or any of those services. Um, Once the cutting season was over, I was actually hurt. So it was time to take a break.
Gotcha. Gotcha. All right. So, doing this part-time, do you actually have any employees? I know I've noticed a young lady in the video with you, but does she work with you all the time?
Great question. So in the video, that's actually one of my really good friends. She does not work with me for the video. It was more of an advertisement video,
Okay.
and so I thought it would be nice to have somebody in there with me. But for this spring of 21 season, throughout the fall of 21, it was all me providing the services.
Nice
However,
job. There you go.
yes.
Yeah.
And I really, really enjoyed it. I did ideally want to hire maybe a couple people, but I just enjoyed the aspect of it just being me. It was very relaxing. Um, but spring of 22, I will be getting a crew because, as I just mentioned, I was hurt the
Yeah.
end of last season, and part of that was just the wear and tear of
Yeah.
doing it all myself.
Yeah.
I probably should have stretched before some of those jobs and I didn't. So,
Exercise.
with this downtime, I've been able to kind of just reevaluate what would be done differently or how I can be more effective next year, this upcoming year, and definitely getting a crew is on the agenda.
Cool. Very cool. So T&L Lawn Care, don't know your name, sorry. Says that Jeep is dope, and I yeah, that Jeep was nice. Usually
Thank you.
you'll see a truck pulling all that stuff, but that Jeep was nice. It was really nice.
Thank you. That's my personal vehicle. And so, again, with me kind of just, wanting to ease into it part time, I'm like, well, let me just work with what I have now. So one day I do hope to get one of those nice gnarly trucks.
All right, so Aldo has a interesting question for you. uh, let's see, put it up there. Do you rock those acrylics while you're working? Respect the glam. That's right. Respect their.
Yes, I do. I am such a
That
girly
takes
girl.
talent to be able to do that.
Yes, I do. My acrylics give me character. And so sometimes when I'm out there and it's hot and I'm tired and I'm like taking a water break, I'll just sit down and look at my nails like, oh, they're cute. Time to get back to it.
Okay. Let's see. So we answer. So what actual services do you provide right now?
Sure. So the services that I provide, cut. So I used to also do landscaping services throughout this past season. Um, and that's actually very hard to do when it's just yourself.
Okay.
And so it was those type of jobs where I was like, I should probably, get some assistance. But towards the end of the season, I just did strictly cuts because I had a lot of clientele with that.
Okay.
It kept me very busy. And with doing cuts, it was really easy to, not easy, but manageable with my schedule.
With
It
that
was easy
right
to,
too. That right makes it
yes,
easy. Because
yes, get
I
in,
couldn't
get out.
imagine like push mowing. Yeah, no. I guess it's necessary in some yards and some situations, but in most, that thing probably gets you done pretty quickly.
Yes, an average cut, I would say cut time, depending on the lawn, could be anywhere from 12 minutes to 22 minutes of like ride time is what I call it. So just mowing in itself.
Okay. All right. Let's see. So do you plan on expanding into like the full maintenance services like fertilizing and all of that?
Yes, I do. So that's one thing that I look forward to within these seasons and years to come is to get into just the full span of lawn care. So fertilization, um, more into landscaping.
Mm-hmm.
Um, yes, that's the goal ultimately.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're definitely, doing it the right way, just kind of easing into it and, kind of feeling out your clientele and things like that and what they need and what they want. So that'd be cool just to kind of do it slowly. Um,
Yes.
all right, so let's take a look at some of your work. Let's do that.
Okay.
Here we go.
That's good.
Go ahead with here. And you let me know when you can see it. I know there's usually some type of delay. If you can see it on your screen,
Okay.
let me know. I know you said you had your laptop there, your phone.
Yes. So looking at the phone, I don't see it up there yet. Or on the laptop, it's not there yet.
Okay. So let's answer. Let's see if we got a. India says you can't go wrong with right.
Yes, India. Okay, I see it now on the screen.
Okay. Let's save this for later. All right. So go ahead and tell us a little bit about what's happening here.
Okay, so this right here, this was a really, really fun job. This is a property of one of my, this person receives cuts every 10 days. So this was in between one of their cuts. This was actually a rental home property, so nobody lived at the home when I serviced it throughout the season. The person reached out to me and was like, hey, I was wondering if you can clean out my flower beds. So this top picture is the before. As you can see, it is extremely overgrown. You can, there's a bench in there that you really can't see because of how overgrown it is. And so then the bottom picture is the after. So this is the before and after.
Okay.
This job was really fun. It took about I did it over 2 days. So the first day I did about 4 hours. I went in and gutted the flower bed. So took out all of the green, and there's actually another flower bed on the side of the house that looked just like that. So I did it to both sides, um, bagged it up, and then the next day of service when I went there, there was no rock, so I went in and laid the river rock that's in the bottom picture. I also built that retainer wall. So
Oh, nice.
um, previously it was just one layer,
Yeah.
so I added a second layer. Um, I wheelbarrowed the rock from the side of the house. You can actually kind of see my Jeep on the side of the house. So
Yeah. Yeah.
there was a pile of rocks right there,
Uh-huh.
right by the mower. So I wheelbarrowed it over and then also to the other side of the home. This is a really fun job. I enjoyed it. It was nice. It was just me. It was a quiet, it's a corner lot, but it was very quiet. The traffic just flows and keeps going. So
Yeah.
yeah, this was one of my really fun jobs to do. Um, to be transparent, this is a job that I hurt myself at because it
Oh,
was
wow.
towards the end of the season. It was towards like right, it was like the middle of September,
Mm.
and I don't feel that maybe I used the best methods with um, moving the river off with the
Mm.
wheelbarrow. As I got tired, I was kind of getting lazy with how I
I
was,
see. Yeah.
pulling it and pushing it, and so I learned a lot at this job,
That's what I was
to
about
say
to
the
say,
very
but you
least.
learned a lot. So moving forward, that probably won't happen.
Yes, moving
Um,
forward, get help, have a crew.
all right. While I transition to the next slide,
Okay.
T and L Lawn Care is asking, will you be installing a mulching kit on your mower? On your right mower, I guess they have mulching kits for them.
Um, I don't know. I haven't even thought about it. That's a good question. I
Okay.
did use my mower to mulch this past season when the uh, leaves were falling and everything, and it seemed to mulch very, very nice with what it has
Hmm.
standard. So
Okay.
if I would add an additional one, maybe,
Yeah.
um, or when I do eventually get a second mower, I may just make sure second mower has it.
Okay. Sounds good. Do you see the next slide up there? We're talking about equipment, and there we go. That's some of
Yes,
your stuff there.
yes, I do see it. So I love this picture because it shows um, where I started and where I'm at in regards to equipment wise. So this first picture, the top, that was the first trailer that I bought.
Hmm.
Um, that was a 4x6, and it was a perfect size because that was my first time ever pulling a trailer, which
Hmm.
was intimidating. And it was a nice size, not too small, not too big. It fit what it needed to. So starting off, I had two push mowers. The red one is the red one is the
This is a Craftsman. You mentioned the
yes,
Craftsman.
yes, thank you. Sorry, I was reading a comment and got delayed.
Yeah,
But yes, the
we
red
had a
one
bunch
is
of comments coming in here. I'm trying to keep up with
the
them.
red one is a Craftsman, and the green one is a battery powered mower. So that was nice to have too. There was three properties where their grass was tiered, and so I had to pick up the mower to get to the next level or to
Mm,
actually even go up steps. And so I preferred to do that with the battery powered one because I didn't have to worry about things like liquids and gases and anything getting on me. And
and
it
it's
was a
probably
lot
lighter
lighter
too.
too.
Yeah.
Yes. So this top picture is what I started off with.
And what's the green
Um,
mower there? Is that
that is
Was it
uh,
Greenworks? Maybe. I can't tell. It's hard to see that picture, so I'm not sure which one that is.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I can't say for sure. I don't
Okay.
remember what that one was. Um, and then the bottom picture is what I use now regularly. I actually only use I've towards the end of the season, I would say um, August to October, I strictly use my standard B mower. So that's what it looks like. You stand on it and control it with the different things, and that's how
Mhm.
you turn, stop,
Mhm.
and go, and all of that.
I'll get yeah, yeah. Probably fun. I'm gonna get on one of those this year.
Yes.
Um,
So if you ever come to Nebraska, call me, and
Absolutely.
it'll be your time to shine.
So just take a quick break. I did post your YouTube channel in the chat there, and I don't know if you want to speak. You and I talked about it, and I know you're gonna be building
Mhm.
that up, so that's why I posted it. So I don't know if you wanted to just kind of give us a little bit of information on your intentions for the page.
Okay, yes. So I definitely do plan on being very active on YouTube. Was something I really wanted to do last season, but I got really busy, so I wasn't able to be as active on that. But moving forward, I plan on utilizing YouTube as um, just like everyday life in the lawn care industry. I would love to get a GoPro and like record myself on at different properties just so that people can see exactly what I'm seeing.
Mm-hmm.
There's certain tools that I have, such as like the Husqvarna trimmer,
Mm-hmm.
which when it was time to like restring it for the first time, I went on YouTube to find out how to do that. So I plan on utilizing YouTube as just fun facts within the lawn care industry and giving people kind of a rundown of how you can utilize or fix your tools, do different things with your tools, just informational per se,
Yeah.
because that's what I utilized it for starting off, and I loved it.
Yeah. The presence would be great to have you on YouTube, so we look forward to that. Um,
Well, thank you.
um, let's see. Before we move on, there are a couple other questions I wanted to get to. Why did I just take that one down? So Michael Russell wants to know if you went to school for lawn care? Any formal education, I suppose.
Well, hi, Michael Russell. I believe that's my uncle,
Oh,
unless
there
there's
you go.
another Michael Russell out here, which there might be. It's kind of a common name. But no, I did not go to school for lawn care. I went to school for criminal justice. I got my
Oh,
bachelor's in criminal justice, and then I went back and got my master's degree in business administration. So at the time that I was going to school, um, I wasn't thinking like how lawn care was just, I was going to fall completely in love with it and that was just going to be my thing. And that's really what I want to pursue ultimately. At the time, I was like, oh, I'm going to go to school for this and do that. However, my business administration degree really has helped me with the marketing aspect of business,
yeah.
financial aspects of business, and just kind of understanding the full scope of it. With business, part of it is definitely trial and error, but I feel like the first year went extremely smooth for me,
Hmm.
just due to the business knowledge that I had prior to jumping into it.
Nice. Okay. Criminal justice, huh? Um, India knows a little bit about that. Speaking of India, she has another question for you as well. Do you actually do anything maintaining your lawn? Like, what do you do for your own lawn, your personal lawn?
Well, I'm kind of embarrassed to answer that. So, prior to starting the lawn care services, I used to just, I would cut the grass and lay out on it, basically, like just loved it. And as I got busier over the season, my weekly cuts became bi-weekly cuts at home, and I just didn't start showing it as much love. I water it 3 times a week though, so my grass at home is nice, but it's not as pretty as the majority of the lawns that I cut weekly.
All right, some comments on your previous picture that I missed. I'm sorry, guys, that I missed that, but CR was saying that it was very nice work. The before and after
Thank
pictures were
you.
great. TNL said great job, dope. I agree. And Grace, Grace said if I would have seen that mess, I would have turned around quickly.
Well, thank you all for the comments. And Grace, the funny thing about that is, so prior to me doing that job, I was already at the property doing 10-day cuts. And so when the owner reached out to me and asked me if I was able to do that, in my head, I was like, absolutely not. And so yes, that's funny that that was Grace's reaction too, because I was thinking it too.
Yeah, so Cam's getting on to me a little bit about it. I had the perfect opportunity at GIE to jump on those machines, those mowers and everything, but I was set on the push stuff and the battery stuff, so that's where I spent my time, like, messing around with that, which there wasn't a whole lot of that out there, but
Hmm.
yeah, I did miss my opportunity there. I agree. I agree. What kind of grass do you have at home? Like, what are you working with?
Um, to be honest, I don't have any uh, idea of what kind of grass I have. Nothing fancy for sure.
Okay. Okay. Let's see. I Can you see the next slide yet?
One moment.
Okay. All right. Um, so this, I don't know what this looks like. I don't know. I'm not that's great with identifying grass, but it looks like it's cut really low for sure.
Okay, so that one is actually, I love this picture because this one is actually um, MPJ. I am so sorry. The link that I'm currently on, I'm on this through my phone, and my phone is on 1%. So I'm actually dialing in right now through my laptop too.
Okay.
So I don't know if that will, and I'm so sorry.
It's all right.
I don't
It
know if
happens.
that's
We're
going
live.
to, okay.
We make
I'm getting it pulled
adjustments.
up right now though. So I'm so sorry. That's why I was a little delayed, was because I saw that.
All right. All right. Let's pull you up here. Um, think we switched you over. Are you good? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Can you hear
Okay.
me?
Yeah, we got you.
Okay.
We switched you over.
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yep, I got you.
Okay, perfect.
You do have a little bit of an echo, but let me see if I can fix that. All right. I think you're good.
Okay.
Yep. So do you see
Okay.
that picture up there yet? It's the just the looks like a lawn with really short cut
Ye-
grass.
yes, I do see that picture.
Is
So,
is that
this
Bermuda?
lawn, I'm sorry, what was that?
Is that Bermuda?
Um, I have no idea, PJ.
Okay. Okay.
So, this is the grass of one of my favorite clients, and the reason being is she was my first one. So, when I knew that I was going to start doing lawn care services in the spring, I reached out to a friend of mine who lived close to me, and I was like, "Hey, I am going to start cutting grass this season. Would you be interested in having services by me?" And so she said yes, and this is her backyard. So I cut her grass every week, and yes, it is very low.
Okay.
This was probably early spring, and then as the summer started, we cut a little bit higher so that her grass wouldn't burn.
Okay. Grace actually wants to know how many accounts do you have working part-time?
Um, I would say at the peak of business, I had 28 accounts.
That's pretty good. Now, if you were to like if you were to start doing full services, I'm assuming you would try to pull those people in. Do they already have like other companies that maybe do their fertilization and everything for them?
Yes, they do. And so, yes, as I do expand and start offering those services, I would most definitely let them know of that. So, with the majority of my cut clients, I would mention if maybe they had a flower bed that looked like it needed some TLC or something. I
Mm-hmm.
would sometimes mention, kind of depending on how busy I was, if I had time, I would mention that those are services that I offer as well.
Okay. So I'm guessing this next slide is a customer where, you're kind of touching up their flower bed area. This looks nice. It looks like
Yes.
you even added a section on the other side of the steps.
Yes, thank you so much. So yes, this is actually my one of my friend's mom's homes. It was a beautiful home. It was just a couple of blocks over from me. This whole block that she lives on are new builds of houses, and so um, it was just literally a clean slate to work with. So prior to starting, she had the white river rock laid towards the right side of her stairs, and she liked that. And
Mm-hmm.
so when I did the landscaping at her home, I added the white rock to go alongside the left side of her home. Under this window, I put some white rock around that tree. And then what you can't see is the left side of the house and the right side of the house. She also had a river rock laid as well. So it was really nice because her house just looked like it was floating on like white crystally water. It was really pretty. And then I put in some evergreen like bushes throughout the left side of the steps and under the window. And then on the right side of the steps, I actually put in those yellow lilies that you can see on that top
Mm-hmm.
picture. So it came out really pretty. And I also put that white potter at the top of the steps as well. And so that had some white flowers in it and some yellow flowers to kind of play off of the yellow lilies. But it was so beautiful. The
Yeah, it is
lady
very pretty.
really Thank you. The lady really loved it, and she was just a really sweet lady. So,
Yeah.
the outside of her house was a reflection of her in a personality wise. And then she also, you can see in the bottom picture, she wanted some lights put in. So, we put lights in as well. And so, at nighttime, because she only lived 2 blocks away, I actually would drive past her house at nighttime just
Yeah.
to see how pretty it looked.
I think we have a picture of the lights like at night too, so we'll look at that. T and L Lawn Care says that's so neat and beautiful, and they love your passion.
Thank you,
Um,
TNL.
but you do have a nice little question for me. Grace is like, wait a minute, wait, did you say you don't know what grass type you have? So you
I
don't know
know,
any
Grace.
grass type.
I know, Grace. I just have to be transparent. I
Yeah.
don't. And that's one thing that I do look forward to knowing, is with getting into fertilization and all that, to knowing grass types. And
Hmm.
it, right now it's kind of like a foreign language to me, kind of goes above my head. So I don't act like I know it.
Right. And you shouldn't.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
know one day, Grace.
Yeah. Yeah. I think once you really get into it, it'll come quickly because I mean, you love what you do so much that, that'll just fall right into place, I believe. Um,
Yes.
all right. So the next picture should be up there. Is that up there?
Yes, I do see
Okay.
it now.
All right. What's
So
going on with this one?
this picture I love as well. This is a weekly client of mine. It's a very sweet family that I met for the first time when I started cutting.
Hmm.
And so at their home, I did strictly cuts. They had cuts every Thursday.
Hmm.
Um, this property, uh, like when I think of like overall this season, this property also meant a lot to me because it was just, have you ever been in a situation, PJ, where you're like, wow, this is exactly where I want to be? Like, this is exactly what I wanted to do. So that's how this property was,
Yeah.
because it was in a very, very, very upscale area and in a
Uh-huh.
state neighborhood. And I remember I was there spring. So the first service that I provided before the cuts was I did a spring cleaning. So
Hmm.
just fancy verbiage for cleaned up a whole bunch of leaves and flower beds.
Yeah.
And when I did it, it was my first taste of, doing what I've been wanting to do.
Hmm.
And it was cold. It was so rainy that whole week. So, like, my feet were soggy. I was cold. I was in their backyard. I was literally slipping at different areas. And I just remember thinking, like, are you sure this is what you want to do?
Yeah, that's the
and
thing though. It's not all rainbows, it can be tough and you have those moments and everybody's going to have those moments.
Yes.
So,
And so this home just kind of, it makes me smile because it used to be very, very it was very pretty neighborhood to go to and to be in, and then it was intimidating as well because, like I said, these were really big homes, estates, and so it would be me and my Jeep and my 4x6 trailer
mhm.
and my push mowers, and then it would be huge companies where they had big trucks and big long trailers with 5 mowers on it, and then there were big trailers with enclosed trailers and big mowers, and then you would see the companies park and it would be a crew of like 4 men
Yeah.
hopping out and just demolishing the best way their properties. And I just remember looking at them like, wow, I hope I can be there one day. And then just feeling so intimidating. I felt like
Yeah,
a
it can
like
be
a
intimidating.
fish around sharks.
Right.
And I just remember being like, okay, well, stand your ground. Like, this is what you wanted, so go ahead. It's your time. But it was such an empowering place to be at because I felt so little but so proud and so like, oh my gosh, I'm exactly where I want to be.
Yeah. That's fantastic. I like that. I like that story that you threw in there. That's awesome.
Thank
Um
you.
so looking at this picture again, I'm trying to figure out what type of grass it could be. So it kind of looks like it could be anybody in the chat have any guesses? I'm thinking it kind of looks a little bit like fescue, I think. I don't know. It's hard to tell from a picture with grass. But Grace wants to know what height of cut are you cutting the lawns?
Um, Grace, it kind of just depends. I go to a property, and if I'm there for the first time, I will ask the um, owner what their preference is. Sometimes owners want really, really low. And so when they do, I would explain to them, like, if it's really hot outside, like, we should probably go a little bit higher up, just so that you have grass next week still and it's not burnt up. But I pretty much usually ask people before I start cutting their grass, like, do you like your grass low? Do you like it high? What works best for you? A lot of people are kind of like, just do whatever. There were a couple people who were like, I do want it really low, so I just kind of honored their wishes.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I know. It just depends on the type of grass, really. And Aldo says it's called tall muta. He's creating a whole new type of grass. Um, but Greg has some good information for you. So he's saying to check with your local agricultural office, and they can tell you the grass that's native to your area. And if I've done this before too. If you take a sample of the grass to them, they'll tell you what it is. Because it's good to know whether you're dealing with warm or cool season grass, because cool season grass is typically, they're better when they're cut high. And I think St. Augustine, which is a warm season, is also cut high, but most of the cool season is cut a little bit lower. So that's some good information for us. James the Lawn Junkie stopped through to say hi, but he can't stay. Thank you for jumping in, James. I hope you
Hi,
follow Lena
James.
on Instagram and on YouTube. There's a link. I'm gonna put it in here again as soon as I get a chance. Um, let's see who else do we have here. Let's see. India says, "Don't worry about competition. Ain't no competition. Do your thing." That's right. Before you know it, they'll be looking at you
Yes,
thinking the same thing. And
to
that's
India.
right. That's
Yes.
so mad respect for you going out there and doing it on your own. A lot of people have someone helping them. This is seems like a passion of yours, and you're going for it. So mad respect for that.
Thank you.
Um, so Evie does it says this is probably fescue in Nebraska. Um, I would think you probably do have some fescue as well. So, oh, or a mix. You're right. It could be a mix. But yeah, it'll be fun, and I am there. Like, let's talk. We're gonna continue to chat on Instagram because I'm very interested in what you find out about this, and you have your YouTube channel, so I think that'd be great content for you, going through and finding out what even in your yard, like what that is, how you did it, and so that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Um,
Thank you.
what's up, Polo? Polo is in the house. The polo green, the money green lawn man. uh, so T and L says, when are you gonna get your pink trailer?
I know I have this dream of having this really cool pink enclosed trailer with the logo on it. So hopefully soon, TNL. Hopefully soon, so I can get some dope content out like your page as well.
Yeah. Um. So Grace wants to know, what was your first lawn? Was it small? The very first one that you did?
My first lawn was a nice size. I would categorize it as like a typical lot size in Omaha. It was the backyard was actually the first lawn picture that I showed that was on the
Oh,
slideshow. That was my first lawn.
okay. Okay. All right, and Polo's chiming in, saying that some type of, yeah, I think it's cool season grass up there. You and I were talking earlier. You were telling me what your temperatures are there, which are
Yes,
crazy. I never want to experience those temperatures ever in my life. So yeah,
yes.
cool season is probably a pretty good guess. Um, so the picture that's up right now is our last one to talk about. That's
Okay,
nice looking. So you want to give us some information
thank
on
you.
that one?
Yes. So, I don't know the grass type.
Okay.
How, however, this lawn I really enjoyed cutting. the background story on this, this is the lawn of a friend from sixth grade. So when they saw that I was doing lawn care business, they reached out to me and was like, "Hey, can you cut for me? I'm out of town." And so I had the pleasure of cutting their family home. And I mean, I guess in this picture you can't really tell, but I did cut this one a bit higher because the grass was high.
It does look a
Um,
bit higher. Yeah, you can
really
see.
like how it uh that was I do prefer to cut higher because I feel like it gives grass more movement and the lines are more defined and just all in all prettier. And so this was a really, really fun one to do. And it, you can't really tell, but this is a really large lot, and the backyard was huge as well. So this picture just, I chose to put this on the slideshow because it makes me happy too.
Yeah, makes me
I
happy
see
too.
it, and
Green
it just
grass.
uh, kind of gives like the full circle of how lawn care can, outside of like the tranquility outside with the lawn and just
Hmm.
being outside with the nature, it this picture kind of embodies the idea of how being in the lawn care industry can connect you with people who you've never met before and people who you haven't seen in years. This person, I haven't seen them since sixth grade, and they reached out to me and was like, "Can you cut my grass?" So that was really cool. And another thing about lawn care industry is that I've really, really enjoyed the different families that I've met, the people
Yeah,
that I've met,
yeah.
people's kids. Like when I cut people's grass and they have a playground in the backyard, it just makes me happy. Like, so pretty. Like, they
Yeah.
have such a nice home and they have a playground back here for their kiddos. So,
And
um,
imagine the little girls that you're running into out there, and they're seeing you out there doing this. I'm sure you're an inspiration because it's just not something
aw,
that you see. So, with our society pushing, females towards a certain thing, and they see that, oh yeah, I can do that too. That's fun. I mean, grass is just not to play in. It's, there are other things that can be done there. So that's
right.
that's really cool. Earth Friendly Cuts wants to know, do you do any commercial work?
Uh,
Uh-oh. Think we may have lost her, guys. She's a bit frozen. Is everybody else seeing her frozen, or is that just me? Put me something in the comments so I know what's going on. Yeah. Somebody put something in the comments. Is it me or is it her? Oh, looks like it was her. She'll come back. All right. So, while she's gone, I'm sure she'll be back here in a minute. Always when you're live, it's just the things that you have to expect is going to happen, right? Um, while she's getting reset up, I will talk about what I can, which is the upcoming 2022 season. Um, I have some big plans for March. Uh, you guys have to stick around, especially the people who support me the most. Please, please come in to the lives on March. I have some goodies coming up, guys. I cannot wait for the season to kick off again, get started, get rolling, introduce you or tell you about the companies that I'll be working with, just a handful of people that I trust and respect and really enjoy their products. So yeah, I see you guys telling me now. She was frozen. She hasn't come back on yet, so I'm gonna chat with you for a little bit until she does come back on. Um, any new approaches to your poetry problem? So Aldo, so this is the thing, right? With the poetry. Oh, here she comes. We'll get back into that later. She's joining us back again. Let me just go ahead and get back on track there. All right. Here we go. You're back. Are you back? Looks like she's back, but she's still frozen. Oh man, internet, bro, what is going on? Internet issues. Yeah, I don't think her phone died, Grace, because she switched. She switched. So, let me go ahead and I'll answer Aldo's question. The 𝘁𝗃𝗃 is actually driving me crazy. I'm not even gonna lie. All
Okay.
right, you're back. I'm gonna just finish answering this question from Aldo first.
Okay.
He asked me about 𝘁𝗃𝗃 while you were gone. I have a 𝘁𝗃𝗃𝗃𝗃 problem in my yard, and I'm not. I've nuked it, dug it up myself, did all of that work myself for one side, and it was a lot of work. I did the sod on the other side of the house. That was a lot of work. That was a lot of money, is what that was. I didn't do the work, but it was a lot of money. I'm just not willing to put a whole bunch more effort into the 𝘁𝗃𝗃, and I think I'm gonna try to figure out this season just a way to deal with it. So we'll see. We'll see how that goes. But anyway, we're back to Lena's back. Here you are.
Sorry
I was like,
about that.
that's okay. I mean, you've seen the other episodes. We've had some technical difficulties there too. But I think we were just finishing up talking about this particular lawn, and had a couple more questions in here for you. I believe
Okay.
TNL is just saying that the angles are nice that you cut here in this one.
Thank
Um,
you.
this is very nice of them. May God continue to bless your business. It's awesome.
Yes, everybody's.
And I think you were talking a little bit about the lawn care community, which is what CR is talking about here. Um, it's a community full of very nice people that are willing to help you. Ask if you have questions, ask questions. Um, and that's one thing I love about the DIY community. I mean, I'm sure it's a little bit, it may be different on the commercial side. I don't know. Um, but they're in on Instagram as well, and they seem just as nice and approachable. You have questions, they'll answer them. One person that comes to mind is Blades of Grass. Johnny, he's great. Um, let's see where we are here, because that was our
And
last
pe-
slide to talk about.
yes, and Blades of Grass is actually the company that um I used to stock because they have he used the Husqvarna trimmers. So
Okay.
he actually opened my eyes to that because I saw how he was moving around with it, and I was like, wow, I wish I could move around like that with my trimmer. And so just watching his YouTubes and Instagram page, I was like, I gotta get one of those.
Okay. Yeah. Hello, Erica. Vacation like you mean it. Oh gosh, vacation, Erica. Woof. This season will be my first caring for my own lawn. I'm excited to get started. Where's that started in the in the spring. Yes, we're right there with you. Again,
Yes.
come back in March. Please don't miss any of my lives. And if you're not subscribed, please subscribe, because you have to be subscribed, because this is it's gonna be a kickoff, and it's gonna be like this big thing, and I want my supporters to benefit from this. So uh let's see what other questions we have. Bermuda. They're talking about Bermuda grass. And that always comes up. I mean, here right around the corner, there's some Bermuda grass, and I think I'm gonna be making a couple visits. It's a public property. I'm gonna make some visits over there this summer to try to figure out this Bermuda grass thing. Um, let's go back over to: do you prefer the gas or power equipments? Which is your preference?
um, I'm battery when it comes to like the blower and the trimmer. And I actually have a battery bush trimmer. There we go. There's the
Okay.
word.
Okay.
And I've had no issues with it. The only issue I've had is like sometimes when I get to doing 10 plus lawns in a day, both batteries will die,
Hmm.
which means I need to take a break anyways. So that's kind of the biggest thing. So I have two batteries. I should probably get three batteries.
Okay.
Um, as the season starts off, so I don't run into that again. However, with cutting, I prefer gas mowers. I feel like they have a little bit more power. However, with the battery powered mower that I've used, I haven't had any issues with it. It still does what it needs to do, and it's quiet too, so it's nice. Um, it it's nice for like example in the summertime. It wasn't getting dark until like 9:30. So when I would strategically schedule my evening cuts to
Hmm.
be in areas where it's like I could use my basically silent battery powered mower because no one's going to hear it. And I've actually had a client come out after I got done cutting, and when I go to people's homes, I let them know the time frame that I'll be there, and I'll ring the bell when I get there and speak with them. And so I rang her bell and she didn't answer, so I was like, oh, maybe she's not home. And she ended up coming back out 20 minutes later, and I was loading my trailer up, and I just got done cutting, and she's like, I didn't even hear the mower. I'm like, me neither.
So so that's a good thing. Is like if everybody, because I hear a mower right now and I don't know why. Maybe it's not a mower. Maybe it's something else happening outside. But when I hear that, I want to go cut. I want to mow too. So having those silent mowers won't make that happen. So I have a very very important question for you. You have to answer this question. So check it out. Who is your favorite female superhero? That's a very important question on this show. I need to know.
Of probably the one next to you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the one. That's the one.
I just had to throw that question in there. That question is going to be in every single one of my lives now. Just to throw it out
That's
there. Um. Okay.
like
So as far as
women, I feel like after a good.
yeah,
Oh, sorry. I was saying, as a woman, when I'm done cutting the grass, like as a lady, I just feel like just a superhero afterwards. Like,
yeah,
why not? We saved the grass.
yeah, yeah, you feel pretty accomplished, I would say. Um. So I guess we can go ahead and start wrapping up unless the chat has more questions. If you can tell, I'd like for you to end it with your top lawn tip for the audience. Like, what would be your top tip for people who are watching? Since you cut, so as far as cutting or whatever you want.
Um, my top lawn tip would be to do what makes you happy and do what you're comfortable with. There were certain times where people would reach out to me and I wasn't comfortable sometimes. You just get a weird intuition.
Hmm.
And so the first time it happened, uh, maybe it was because of the time the person reached out to me at like 6 a.m. and or maybe like 5 a.m. and I felt like that was a weird time. Like, who's thinking about their grass right now? And so when I happened to drive past the property to see what needed to be done, it ended up being a foreclosed property
Okay.
and it was a jungle. And so something was like, it was like, oh, this makes sense. They reached out to me at 5 a.m. because it's a jungle and it needs to be taken care of right now. And so, yeah, I would just say do what you're comfortable with and happy with. I felt so much like joy and pride and just joy and happiness with being out in the lawn. And it was because I took on what I was comfortable with.
Okay, that makes sense. I agree with you. I mean, you have to do what's best for you. And what I like the most about what you've been saying is that you have a passion for it, and you love it. You love doing it, and when you love to do something, it just makes life so much more fun to live. So,
Yes.
yeah, that's fantastic. Well, it looks like we don't have anything else from the chat. I would like again to ask you all to go out to her Instagram page, give her a follow. Also, hop on over there to the YouTube page. Let's see if I still have that here, so I can put that in there. Yep, let's throw that in there one more time. Hop on over to her YouTube page and subscribe there because it sounds like she has some good things that'll be coming there in the spring. Um, and with that,
Yes.
everybody say goodbye, and I will catch you guys in the next show.
Thank you guys. And thank you, PJ. I really appreciate being on the show.
Thank you for coming. All right, guys, have a good day.